we're going to take a look at the character sheet. So it's going to look a little bit different than Honor Bound, mostly because I stripped the hell out of it and was just like, okay, here's what we're doing. This is all we're concerned about. Um, the first thing you're going to notice is the green line and the orange line. So on the left is the attributes. So instead of there being four, I brought them down just to three. So it's brawn, brains, belief. Okay. And the system works the same. Roll, choose an attribute and a skill, roll that many dice, keep two, spend legend points to keep more dice. Okay. Spend legend points to trigger your abilities. Super easy. Okay. Now the skills though, I hacked all the way down. It's only six skills. And so what I did because of that is I was like, this might be the future where Honor Bound goes towards as well. What I wanted to do is like, well, instead of just having like brawn in bullying or brawn in fighting, like I want everything. If you have fighting, then you can fight with all three of your things, right? And they can all do something. Okay. So now these aren't in that little table below that where it says like under brawn and weaseling, it's like sneak or steal. These are just suggestions for what you can do with that crossing of the skill and the attribute, right? So, and also if you have a better idea of like, you know what, actually I think in this particular situation, I think brains and weaseling might be better for the sneak check because of this. And I'm more than likely going to be like, oh yeah, okay, narratively, if that makes sense, let's go for that. So I stripped it way down. At the top of the sheet, you'll see grit, and that's it. In honor bound, it's health and honor. In legends, you just have grit. That's your health. That combines your how you feel as well, your positivity about living in this world. So yes, you can get depressed to death in this game if you really if you do the wrong thing. So and everyone's just going to start at 10 grit because this is playtest. If that number doesn't end up being correct, then we'll just have to change it as we go along, right? After we're like, oh, it's too low or too high. Okay. As far as how the character sheet, then you get legend points. Um, in the middle you got silver. There's money exists. There's equipment lists and stuff like that in this game. So the only other thing in this game that is drastically different than Honor Bound, besides the way less skill list, much smaller skill list, is that your attributes, your brawn, brains, and belief, think of those also as your saving throw. Okay. When I will straight up say like, okay, you're gonna have to make a belief check 10 because you're being horrified by something that should not exist, or that is actively attacking your faith, and that's going to be a test of faith. If you get uh, attacked, then instead of doing, well, I'm going to fight it back. Like, no, you don't fight it back. You just do a toughness to see if you don't get injured. Okay. So most of the time, you're just going to get hit. Okay. If you get into actual fighting stuff. So then you're just making a saving throw to see how much damage you take. So that's the one difference how the game works. And so far, it's been amazing. You have a question, Eric? Hmm. Yeah, it shocked me how well it worked because I was so worried about you guys just getting pummeled. But how it turns out is that on the attack, you get to use all your dice. So you're very effective on the attack. And then it also means that when you're on the defense, that means everything becomes more of a threat to you, which really helps with this scary, horrible world that you live in. So that actually works out pretty well. Okay, so pop on over to Legends of the Khurst Riders character creation. It's very straightforward. I've got everything on here. We'll try and walk it through. Um, the one thing that I'm going to point out is that so you have six skills. you're not going to get that many points to put into your skills. So with 3 players, it's probably best to try and spread them out. Like, okay, you be the fighter, you be the charmer, you be or whatever, right? I will say everyone should have a little bit of fighting, okay? But in this game, that actually is really easy to do because you can say like, you know what, I'm just gonna take really high brains, and so that automatically gives you 4 dice in fighting with your brain, right? So it's it's all on how you look at it and how things gonna work out. Uh, take a look at the character sheet. What do you guys want to look at first? Because I put it in order for 1, 2, 3, 4 or whatever, right? But really, what's more comfortable for you guys to build a character? Would you rather know what their background was in the old country? Would you rather know what your character's current profession is in the new world? Or would you want to know what are you cursed with for your family tribe? Like all these are great inspiration starting points.
Yeah. Would it be helpful for us to know, like, who's the brawn, who's the brains, who's the belief nows? With that in mind as we think about our vocation?
Yeah, it's up to you guys. I mean, you guys can build the exact things for kind of what you want. Is anyone, maybe I'll just go down and kind of help you out here. Um, let's start off with probably the two, well, they're all pretty important, honestly. Uh, anyone have a good idea for what kind of character they want? Does anyone
No.
particularly want it? No. No for Eric. Aaron, Rachel.
Yep. Anything sounds. They all sound good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not for
So
lack of
then,
having choices, good choices. I just don't know what I want to do yet.
you sure? Okay. So then let's do this then. This will help kind of shape your what direction your points will go. Let's just do it in order to see if this works the best. So we're going to start with background and haunts. Okay. So I'm just going to scroll down just a little bit where it talks about background and haunts. When you choose your background, you'll automatically get your haunt as well. And you can roll it randomly, or you can choose it, or even make a totally new one if you want to. It does not affect me. It only affects how you want to play your character. And if you find out it's something that you're not comfortable playing, then change it. Okay. So we have uh, your choices are authority, criminal, soldier, learned, seeker, or a twist. So the twist is kind of more you manipulate others. The seeker is you're an explorer both physically and metaphysically. The learned is academia. Like you had a gift for something in the old world and like scientist or doctor. Um, soldier is straight up you're a fighter for in some form. Criminal, this is more like your politician, cat burglar, safecracker, goon. And then finally your authority figure. This is like your leaders or law enforcement, missionary workers, inquisitors, that sort of thing. So it's 1830s. This background is what you were in the old world. Do any of those sound interesting to any of you? There's 6 of them on purpose. Um, you can just, if anyone want to roll a die and to see if that
I want to go
looks good to
criminal.
them. Okay, Eric, criminal. All right, so then let's just go to the criminal. You get a +1 to your brawn. So on your character sheet, Eric, just change your 2 to a 3 on brawn, and you'll see all those numbers will change for you automatically. And then add 1 point in skill to weaseling. So just the green box above weaseling.
Mm.
Boom. All your numbers are updated. And now think about what your haunt is. Do you kind of have any idea for what kind of nationality that you're thinking of? Or you just want to roll a d6 to kind of see what it says and see how that feels?
I mean, I'm thinking about doing Irish, since I just came back from Ireland. Hope Rachel will
Sure.
be thinking about that.
Okay.
Uh, so yeah, as far as specific haunt though, I kind of like rolling randomly and see what I get.
Okay. Sounds good. Okay.
Wanted. Cool.
Okay. So there's a price on your head. Now this is your haunt, which means that you're wanted, like you are definitely marked for death, more than likely. Or if you want to get into your culture, something even deeper. I don't know enough about Irish folklore off the top of my head
I
for
don't really like.
what could be worse than that, right?
I bought a whole book of Irish myths and folklore
That's
while I was
true.
there.
I
Perfect.
got some homework to do.
All right,
Yeah.
so then yeah, you just put wanted up there for your haunt. Perfect. You're a criminal. Okay, that's great. So now you've kind of got that brawn and weaseling sort of thing. Kind of think about kind of criminal. How about the other two? We've got 1 point in weasel and 1 point in brawn, which really isn't a whole bunch, right? There's going to be overlap between all the characters. Just I'm going to tell you that right now. Hmm. And I think I might have
Kind of
accidentally set
dry.
this to a live post, by the way, but I don't know what it would be live to. We've got 5 participants. Oh, never mind. That's all of us plus Craig. Never mind. Yeah. I was like, where would it even be
I
going
had
to?
that
Because like
conversation.
YouTube's not even connected to it. That's weird.
Like other people could jump on Discord though if this was an open channel, right? And just watch without
Yeah,
participating.
yeah, I
Is that
suppose.
possible? I don't know.
I maybe. Yeah, no one's gonna do it though. We're safe.
So I was
Rachel?
brawn. I was brawn last time, so I'd be happy to not be brawn, but I can be if Rachel, you definitely don't want to be. So,
I was drawn towards either seeker or learned.
Okay. Well, remember
Um,
the criminal Eric already took 1 point in brawn for criminal
yeah.
too. Okay, but you were thinking learned or seeker. Two
yeah,
two kind of similar ideas, but drastically different um three branches to choose from for how to explain your
right.
character. Are you thinking what draws those to you?
I don't know. Maybe I'm. I guess the one is belief. I was gonna say maybe I'm not drawn to brawn for this one. So I was looking at things that seemed, and thinking about like folklore that I know. Um, I just feel like those two are two I have folklore in my brain for, kind of. Not
Sure,
not that I have like a specific like, oh, this story is what comes to mind when I think of that, but it's like I
sure.
there are examples in my mind.
Okay. Well, let me
Uh,
ask you this. Do you feel more comfortable fixing things or do you feel more comfortable finding things?
um, I feel like finding. I feel like seeker might be
Okay.
the
Perfect.
way to go
So,
here.
yep, so on your sheet, you get +1 belief, +1 finding, and then you want to roll a d6 too to find out what your haunt is.
I feel like there was one that I liked, but I could also roll. I'm not against that.
Yeah, if there's one that you like,
Uh,
please.
I love that you had something you shouldn't have. I think I liked that in Learned too. The one I was drawn to was like I learned something I shouldn't have or something. I put it together that I shouldn't have. So like
Sure.
apparently that's where my brain was wanting to play a character like that.
Okay.
Oh wait.
So yeah, something
So
like
oh wait.
shaken then. You read something that you shouldn't have, Or,
Oh,
I
but the
mean,
first one's kind of nice too. Let me go 50-50. I'm just gonna do a odds are.
all right, perfect.
That's still up in our thing to just say roll a d6. Can I do that? Is
Yeah,
that a
just put
thing?
D6. You don't even have to put the 1 in front of it if you're just doing one die.
Oh, I should have said what odds are. Odds are that I'm number one. Two. Okay, so I read something I shouldn't have.
Okay. All right, so you're going with shaken. Okay, perfect. So that is brawn in belief. We're going to be the brains, Aaron. And remember, this isn't the
Yeah.
final step either.
Oh, no, no, no. I kind of like twist.
Okay, sounds good.
Mhm.
+1 to brains, +1 to charming. And if you guys want some inspirations, I left all of the pre-made, pre-generated characters that I made just off to the right. If you want to take a look at them, if you want any more inspiration. But right now, I think, yeah, we're on a pretty good flow.
So
Okay.
quick question. Quick
Yes.
question on Charmin. Do I put one in the green boxes?
Yes, you put those in the green box.
Okay. Oh, there it goes. Okay, thank you.
Yep.
I didn't want to screw it up.
Yep. No, not a problem. So then, do you have an idea for what you want for your haunt, or do you want to roll for it?
Uh,
Yeah, and some of these are going to be easier to play than others, and some of them might just be terrible. I don't know yet because it's I've got 36 different haunts that I don't know, maybe they're good.
I'm gonna roll. Um, but I don't want to be petulant. I don't think that would be fun to play.
Okay.
All right. Selfish. Love it.
Okay. Yeah. And what I like about this too is that you guys can absolutely hate each other, like in this game. Like you totally can, but you can't escape each other. Like you're all doomed in the same way, you know? So you have to all work together no matter what. So I think that's a fun angle to do. Okay, great. So we've got our backgrounds. All right. Uh, yep. So criminal twist. Okay. Rachel, you were a seeker, right?
Mhm.
And Aaron's twist. Okay. Okay, great. Let's take a look at professions, which is just the next one down. I put up the quick and easy find thing for what profession it is, and they're much more described down below that. Gives you the bonuses. You get 3 bonuses to a skill that are already picked out for you. Plus, you get your starting advantage. Um, your starting advantage is you get to do that once per adventure. Okay, doesn't cost anything. It just happens. Okay, some of them are better than others. Um, some of them are a lot more that make a lot more mechanical sense. I'm still trying to figure out Heart's Desire. But actually, in the last playtest, it worked great because we ran into someone and they're like, I really want to know what they want. And it was like, yeah, perfect. This is what they want. They found out that piece of information. And they're like, oh, that means that they're not a part of this, which means this, this, and this. And it ended up being cool. I just can't write it out mechanically. That makes sense. Yeah. So here I can go through them real quick. Agent, kind of like your 1830s spy sort of deal, you know. You got your gunslinger, which is just exactly what it is, gunslinger. Hackshaw, that is 20 years too late to be in this period, but I stealing it anyway because I think it sounds cool. It's a detective. Um,
Mm.
then you got your huckster, which is more like your snake oil salesman. In missionary. Then finally is your tin horn. That's your gambler. Your like you're good with your words, but you're a little slimy. But you kind of do it all. Any of these like you can totally min max your character if you want to. Um, what I would, well, I don't know. It's going to be up to you guys how you make your characters. Because what I made for the pre-cons is I did 3 characters that totally min-maxed different things, and 3 of them that were just kind of even across the way. And both types of characters seemed really fun to play. Um,
Oh, there's some good options here.
I will say the the Wunderkind ability is pretty good so far that we've worked. Elementary, no one's taken that one yet, so I don't know how that one works. Harsh Desire seemed to work just fine. Ace Up Your Sleeve, so far the 2 times that it's been used was used basically to keep the character from dying, which it was for their saving throw that they're like, oh, which you know what works perfectly narratively for that character. Like they just have something up their sleeve that'll save them from that final getting shot in the head or whatever.
I think if I were to min max, I would end up probably in the huckster. I think I was thinking maybe evangelist or salesperson with Heart's Desire would sort of be. I don't know what folklore creature that maps to, but I don't know. I was thinking going that direction, but I want to compliment what the 2 of you want. So other options I'm looking at.
What I like about that's pulled
Me,
from a lot of different like goblins, like tempting you with stuff, or the devil. What were you saying, Rachel? I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
oh, that's fine. I'm having technology issues anyway. I was also just looking like the one that logically seems to fit for me is a Akshaw, and since you haven't had somebody play that, I'm happy to do that.
Yeah,
Um,
that'd be awesome.
yeah,
So yeah, the +2 finding, +1 fighting, and you get the ability. I will fill out your ability for you.
okay.
I was gonna do gunslinger.
Okay, perfect. Haven't had a gunfighter yet either, so yeah, that'll be nice to have 2 ones that I haven't had any sort of work with yet. I mean, and honestly, like I said, I've only done 1 play test with 3 characters, so you guys pretty much took the characters that they didn't take, so yeah, it works out.
Oh,
Elementary, ask the GM, reduced. Boom. Okay, and then, so what do you think, Aaron? Are you gonna go Huckster?
yeah, I'll do huckster. Yep.
Okay. There we go. Okay. And then Eric is gonna go Gunslinger. So you get this one is gonna be the hardest one to figure out, the killer instinct, whether how good that ability is. Because on one hand, I mean, you can only use it to kill little grunts, right? Until you're at like the last fight with the guy that's got a ton of armor, and you finally get him down, and then you're like, oh, is he down below 5? Great, dead. So that one's gonna be a tough one. I don't know.
Yeah, but I'm only gonna use it once per scene,
Once per adventure.
once per adventure, even. All right, so
Oof,
yeah,
wow.
Yep.
probably something
I
you
mean,
hold on to the very end. So
yeah,
we'll see.
probably. Let's see now. So then all those are set up. I just want to take a quick look what kind of numbers we're looking at. Oh yeah. Yeah, so like Aaron's character is definitely 3 charm, brains, really good with the slick words. Eric is, yeah. good at the old shooting things, fighting things, a little bit of bullying, a little bit of weaseling, then finding. I love the seeker with the belief in finding to sense out other blood tribes. I think that's an interesting thing to have available for you. Okay, so then we're just going to keep going in order. So now we get to the tribes and their curses. So when I first put these together, I said that you don't start with an ability and you have to get 5 of these curses and then your character's gone. I've since changed my mind. You're going to start with one of your cursed aspects. Okay. These also work just once per adventure, and these are going to be pretty powerful. I'm going to tell you right now, as your first choice, you cannot take the thing that bumps up one of your attributes. Okay. You can take that one later on, but you can't start with that one. So here's the 6 different thing. You can even go down to the curse aspects. You can be fey-blooded, so like your goblins, your fairies, your stuff like that. The haunted, so you are actively being haunted by something or someone. Okay. Um, but yeah, that was interesting. Lycanthrope, so werewolf, werecat, were whatever. You are marked, so that is demonology. A demon has marked you for some reason. Okay. And as you like start to take on the looks of a demon, the more this curse comes into effect. Now remember, you are the Khurst Riders. People know some things are wrong with you, right? And you are above all law in this territory. Um, but even simple folk can only go so far. If they see someone walk around town with horns, they're probably going to get pretty antsy, maybe try and get a mob started. Your skin shifters, and then finally the Walking Dead. The ones that I haven't had yet are Feyblood, Lycanthrope, or Walking Dead. I don't want you to choose those just because they haven't been chosen before, because all of this needs to be play tested. Okay. Um,
Well,
yeah.
I was looking at lycanthrope, so
Okay. Perfect. Does anyone? I can't imagine anyone cares about that. Is that cool? Everyone? Yeah. Right on. Okay. Lycanthrope. What do you get? +1 brawn, and you're become beastly. One nice one about that one is that'll be easy to role play. Um, when you trigger your curse, right? It's like, I just attack everything.
do I only get that +1 brawn when I am
Nope,
in my tribal form? Okay.
nope, you get it right now. You get it for your character. And then under Lycanthrope, if you want to scroll down, you see a table on there. You can take the curse aspects. You can choose one of those. The only one you can't take, I think, is Iron Pelt. No, you can take that. Oh, I bet it's Strong Like Bear. Yeah, you can't take Strong Like Bear, but you can take any of the other ones. So +2 attack, basically. Yeah, just take a look at the different ones that are on that list. Aaron, Eric, any of the tribal curses looking interesting to you guys? As a side note, I also can't wait to find out what kind of lycanthrope you choose. That'll be fun.
What else did you see? You say you hadn't seen yet?
Walking Dead and Fey-Blooded.
If you're Irish, Fey-blooded would probably make sense, but I don't want to give you
No, that's what I was thinking
so
too.
shapeshifter because that made me think of changelings, which is very Irish.
Yeah, they're
There's certainly Irish vampires out there too.
It's true, 100%.
yeah.
But I think I'm gonna do Fey Blooded.
Okay, perfect. Fey-Blooded, so +1 to brains. Oh yeah, also don't forget what your curse is too. So I can update all these on your character. Because like
Where
Fey-blooded
do I
alert.
mark the advantage? Is that what it's called?
I can
Where do
get
I
that
mark
down for you, but that'll
the
be under your
aspect?
tribal
Curse
ability.
aspect. Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're called your tribal. It's supposed to be your curse aspect. I need to that aspect is the one I just got updated, so I need to change that name. What does the I do? I don't even know. Oh, nice. Yeah, that's cool. Okay, and then for the Fey-blooded, what do you got? 100-year dance, animal mastery, gift, invisibility, glamour, resilient mind. Okay, and then Aaron, what are you thinking? What goes well with
So
your twist?
with Skin Shifter,
Mm-hmm.
looking at Death's visage and mimicry,
Mm-hmm.
do I have to hear or see or hear the person I'm trying to mimic or look like?
Nope.
Oh, that seems like a great match for me, right? Like, I want to know what it is they most want, but probably so I can appear as that dead person or sound like that person they've lost or whatever.
Yeah. Pretty creepy.
Yeah, yeah. Hoping that's on. Hope I don't know what creature that is exactly, but the ability to sort of like know what someone's weakest point, and then the loss of a loved one sounds pretty awful,
I mean,
frankly.
just think of all those like horror stories that you've seen, or even movies. Like that sort of thing happens all across different cultures for sure. Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go Skin Shifter, and I haven't decided Death's Visage or Mimicry, but one of those for sure.
Okay, skin shifter. And also your identity crisis is your curse.
Oh, wait, what's this?
Yeah, I guess I don't know
Ah,
why I'm filling this stuff out. You guys can fill out your own stuff unless you want me to do it, which is fine. Like, Aaron, what was your haunt? You were, oh, you were selfish.
uh,
Got it. Selfish. Wanted.
mhm.
Shaken.
Yes,
Yeah,
right.
like if you scroll down a little bit on the character sheets, you'll see your haunt track and your curse track. Um, each one of these is a different prompt in my book that I'll ask you. Um, and the final prompt on each one of those is you completely losing control of your character, and so you get to narrate what that looks like. Um, Also, one fun rule that I put in here that we get to run into is that if you get to a certain part in an adventure and you're like, I'm going to die, you can choose to go out in a blaze of glory, where you automatically succeed in 3 actions in a row you can take right now, but then you die in a very horrible way. So,
Sweet.
something like
Love
that.
it.
Yeah, having fun here. Okay, that is. Oh, okay. So, do you need time to fill out your characters? Got that. Looking good. Do you know what you're choosing for your tribal, for your curse aspect, I should say, Eric?
Yes. Uh, Glamour.
Oh, okay. Right on.
There it is.
Oh, that's so crazy. I like the weird And so far, every character that I've seen get built, or characters that I've built myself, is that once you finally kind of get stuff written out on there, you'll find it a very weird kind of puzzle piece put together. Like for instance, taking a look at like Eric's character just real quick, because that one's got most stuff written out, is that you've got this killer instinct, like you're thinking of like a lean figure, you know, like squinty-eyed, fast with a gun, but also is this like weird kind of trickster, glamour, fey-blooded person. You know, just those two things already are kind of at odds with each other, creating a new, like, interesting character. Like, well, what does that mean? You know, like I can totally see all these different things. Like maybe that's why you're such a good gunfighter, is that you do these minor illusions of like the clock ticking, like you're out, the huge clock tower's clicking away, and you do the minor illusion of like, well, it just doesn't go any further for the other person, right?
Sure.
So everyone witnesses it like, oh no, it went off, like
Never has a chance to shoot. Yeah, absolutely.
okay, all right.
Rachel, what did you pick as your example of a seeker, like tracker, Pinkerton, scholar, hermit, monk? Did you do something? What was it you went for?
I did not specify. I should probably do that.
Well, you don't have to, right? Those are just examples for stuff you can get into.
Pretty
Why are
sure.
you asking that, Aaron? Is there something you're kind of looking into?
Well, so I was thinking specifically with identity crisis and the skin shifter and sort of knowing what it is that a person, their heart's desire. Um, I think the time period might not be right for this, but instead of a salesperson huckster, maybe I'm um, like a medium,
Yeah, no,
not
that
operating on
one,
belief.
yeah, mediums 100% are in this world.
Okay. But I don't want to step on anyone else's shtick because I could stay huckster salesperson and go a different direction with that. So
I mean, I'm more the detective-y seeker of something to be determined. And I do not do that through a medium.
Okay. Love it.
yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
cool.
I'm gross, by the way. I'm a medium who can read your heart's desire and then turn into that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am. I
That's
am.
terrifying.
I am a creepy, creepy dude. Yeah.
That's that's a good sign. I love also like the curse's identity crisis is like the example I keep using for the shapeshifter is that you've lived 1,000 lives, and like you just may not even remember who you are anymore, so that you just turn into one of those people for a while.
Hmm.
Of Eric, this will be interesting using Fable because we haven't done it. Allergic reaction. So anything that pertains to the scene, like sunlight, like, oh no, sunlight's bad for me now, or silver or whatever. So every time something like that comes up, we'll just keep a listed log of like, hey, I said I was allergic to this. So we'll just
And
keep,
and something that I get to pick or you pick.
you get to pick.
Okay.
Now, I
We're
might ask
allergic
you,
to a social. I like that. I'm allergic to handshakes.
yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like all these different things that fairies have to go through is like, well, I have to be invited in, you know. I have to if someone says my true name, I can't lie, or it's like just weird stuff like this, right?
Sure.
Then
Awesome.
Rachel's curse is, I mean, pretty obvious. Like just become beastly. Like you turn into probably one of the, like part of you at least turns into that thing, and all hell goes loose after that. Um, yeah, very fired up, very interesting characters. Huh? All right, so what do we got left? We've got now choosing your advantages on page 9. There's only 10 or 12 of them right now, and you get to just choose whatever advantage you want to. If you have any questions about them, please let me know. Um, let's see now. The ones that have been play tested so far is Quick Draw, which got a lot of use out of it. How combat's going to work in this one? You don't roll initiative. Okay, this goes to the party first horror aspect of it. You guys always go second, always, unless you have quick draw. So, or you get surprise on someone. Like, yeah, you can go first then if you get the drop on someone.
Do we? Is that the allocate bonuses? Do we do that, or are we not doing that?
Yeah, if you want to do that right now,
It doesn't matter. I'm just making sure. I didn't know if I missed it.
yeah, actually, yeah, let's allocate bonuses for the advantages. That's true. So, all right, now everyone gets one attribute point to put wherever they want to. Um, and then you get to put 4 skill points wherever you want to. I will say, from what I've seen so far, like starting off, having 3 in a skill is probably the highest you want to go. I think you're missing an attribute skill, Eric.
I just went brains just went up one.
Well, they all start at 2,
You're right.
right?
Oh, how did that go down? Well, that's
Yeah,
lame.
I don't know. It should know.
There we go.
Okay, so now you have another attribute point to put wherever you want to. Because you should have a point from your background and 1 point for Fey Blooded.
Right. So I should, but they all start at 2, right?
Yeah, they all start at 2.
Right. So I put it into brains. So I got one for. I
Oh,
should be
okay.
up just 2, right?
Sorry, we had a misunderstanding there. Okay, so what's your background? Your gun, or no,
Criminal.
criminal. All right, so +1 brawn, and then
Yep.
you are Fey Blooded, so you get +1 brains. And then
And then I get
now
one more that I can do.
they can put it wherever you want. Yeah.
Got it. Thank you.
So this might be the
There.
time to kind of talk to each other about where you want to kind of divide up your skills a little bit. Also, like what fits for your character, you know. Yeah, Carmen. Eric is pretty well rounded. We have to find and fix him. Yeah, it looks good. It looks like you guys have covered each other's holes, as it were. Nice. Awesome. I also love you guys. Definitely did like went all in on brains or belief or brawn. So that'll make your characters very distinct from each other going into stuff. And also define your roles a little bit better too. So yeah, what else do you get for the allocated? Oh, then you choose your advantage after that. So if you have any questions about these, please let me know. Some of them are, I think, just probably more are just better than others right now, but we can talk about maybe making them better if you're like, you know what, I want to take this, but it feels weak. Um, let's see, the 3 that have been play tested, Mule Stubborn, which was ended up being pretty good actually, because you can add some of these on after you make your roll. Let's see, we did. What was the other one? Quick Draw, and then I don't think. Oh, the other one took Dirty Fighting. And then promptly, because they were like the sneaky guy, promptly stayed out of all fights. So it's like, well, I don't know how that one turned out then.
I'm gonna try take and
What
measure.
do you
Oh, well, what were those? I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
I'm gonna do taking measure.
Perfect for the gunfighter.
What do you usually like in a fight? Like, how do you damage people usually? Like, if I'm looking at compelling fate, what would it be if I didn't take that?
If you did take it,
What
uh,
in what would be instead of would it be brawn and fighting to damage without that?
yes,
What the benefit is, what the trade-off is
right, yeah. So,
for taking.
yeah, most of the time, if you just want to shoot something, it's probably going to be brawn and fighting, right?
Okay.
Um, I will say though, there's plenty of opportunities for belief in fighting. When you fight, that's a specific way to fight the soulless, which are like your damned, your demons, your stuff like that. Um, but that's also for bullying too. Like I said, bullying is more for exorcisms and belief, which I love that I've got a mechanic for that just built into your characters. I think that's fun.
So where's in terms of skills, where's everybody? So I've got 3 in charm, and that's my big one. Where are y'all at?
I am high in finding, but not too far behind in fighting and fixing.
I'm even in bullying, charming, fighting, and weaseling at 2, and I have nothing in finding or fixing.
Yeah, I don't have anything in charming or weaseling.
You don't. So Rachel, you said you don't have anything in Charmin and Weaseland, and Eric, you said you don't have anywhere.
Finding and fixing.
Oh,
But
so
I
we're
have
pretty
really
good
good
everywhere.
brawn, so like, you know what I mean? Like, it crosses over so that I can still do those things, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So taking a look at it, even though you don't have anything in finding or fixing, you're still reasonable at doing physical searching for clues and also acting as a doctor.
Yeah.
But now, if you were asked to try and sense another tribe curse out there or trying to calm someone down, no, you're terrible at those things.
All right, I'm gonna. And you said 3 is about all you really want in a skill.
Think so. I think three ends up being the highest thing, but at the same time, go for broke. If you really want to go, like, you know what, I want to go with a max of five and just see how it works. I don't know.
I'm gonna take guided strike as my advantage.
Yeah, that one's pretty good because that does not say to yourself. So you can
Okay.
just add that to other people if you want to as
So,
well. Yeah, so it's yourself or other people when using that skill or that advantage, I should say.
I will. Look at that.
So signature weapon.
Hmm.
So I'm thinking something that feels sort of mystical,
Okay.
either like a photograph that shows an image of something horrific to the person,
Oh my God. Okay.
or like a crystal ball that shows them like something horrible happening. Like you can depress someone to death, right?
Yeah.
So I'm kind of trying to think of go that direction with it,
Wow.
or like
Okay.
I reveal the thing. I don't even know what it is, right? Like, I don't know. What are your thoughts on that direction? I could pick some, go a different direction for sure.
Okay. How about we go like a mirror or like something with a reflective surface? So like a crystal ball
Cool.
would work as well if you really want to lean into that medium thing. I think that's a fascinating, like like Eric draws down with the gun. Rachel's been hunting up the clue to find it, and then you whip out this like mystical like crystal ball.
Look
Very
into the ball.
yeah,
Yeah.
very evocative. Now, that's gonna be tough to do like on someone soulless, probably. You won't be able to depress them to death, so you'll probably just shoot them. But if you're using it with belief, yeah, that can do stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, because I do see in there just fighting, so I don't
Yep.
pigeonhole it to any attribute. So, okay, and what is your fighting? Your fighting is
They put 2 into fight in there.
2. So yeah, you get to reroll 2 dice whenever you're doing a fighting check with that signature weapon.
I love it. Okay.
Okay. Now I just added this part in is money, equipment, and services. Um, everyone starts with, and you don't need to write this down at all. You get a 6 shooter, you get a horse, and you get a knife. Pretty much it. I'm trying to think of like it's kind of like an honor bound where you are in her service. You don't have to pay for the bunkhouse that you sleep in. You're not even quite sure if you do sleep, you know? Maybe your existence only happens at the time that you're on a mission for the Baroness, you know? So I did make an equipment list though, if you go a little bit further down. If you want to buy something else, it's got some more weapons up there, like a whip. Or if you want to spend all your money, you can buy a rifle, which ranges very far. I don't know what that means, but if you're like, hey, I have a rifle, can I shoot it? I'll probably just like, oh yeah, okay, great, you have a rifle. Um, the if you go further down, there's more stuff in there. Lantern, pocket watches, rope, tobacco, booze, the good book. If you want to have a Bible, um, pocket watch, but I don't know what the pocket watch does yet. Like if you have, you're like, you know what, pocket watch does this. I'm like, yeah, okay, that's cool. So if you want to spend some money right now to put some more equipment on your dude, you certainly can. If you don't want to, that's also fine.
How much do we have?
5. Everyone starts with 5 silver. The Khurst Territories, you guys are have silver coins that are stamped in the Khurst Territories, and it's backed by your silver mines. So it's literally like a coin of silver that you guys carry. Are coins of silver. And if anyone asked if the original coins were paid to Judas, you'll never know.
Nice. I like that.
Yeah. You're going to get a lot of biblical crossover here and there. So if you guys are very uncomfortable with that, then maybe I can ease off that stuff too. Um, there is one campaign that I really badly want to write for this because the more I think about it, like I'm thinking like, well, how many Cursed Writers are there at one time? And I'm thinking like, you know what? I think 12. There's only 12 Cursed Riders at the um, that are active at one time. When a Cursed Rider dies, then she can go get another one to do her business. Um,
Is that sort of an apostles kind of a thing?
100%,
Love
100%.
it.
And
I love it.
then, like through one of the adventures, it gets revealed that there is a 13th Cursed Rider, but their soul debt is so high that they can't possibly pay it off. So they're just like this wandering figure that just like travels the world trying to collect souls wherever it goes. Definitely leaning into the wandering Jew mythology from the Bible. Um, so yeah, stuff like that's going to be interwoven. You know, does it mean that you guys are disciples? Not probably necessarily, but maybe. I don't know. You guys can make whatever things you want to click for you. All right. You guys feel good about the equipment
So you said, what were the things that we have? We have a 6 shooter, a horse.
and a knife. Just like you don't have to write them down if you don't want to. That's just what you got. I was thinking about giving you guys, instead of horses, giving you brimstone steeds, and I still got to think about that because how travel is going to work in this game is that it's all going to be on a hex map, and like how far you move during your days, like how far you can go. There's different ways of transportation. You can just ride your horse, right? That's going to be your most common default. You can take a train, or you can take a steamboat because the river Kandaya um, weaves all through the Khurst Territories, even going underground. And so it's only these like old kind of mystic steamboat captains that know their way and can't get lost, right? Because there's things underground that you don't want to run into, and they know how to get to the right place, you know? So, yeah, there's that. Um, so, yeah, that's kind of like your equipment. And then the final thing that we want to talk about for your character, besides naming them, is this. Um, I did a doodle that I accidentally totally fell in love with. Um, and here it is. Oh, it doesn't have the backing to it. See if I can get one brand cut out. See if this one shows up. There we go. All right, so that is a brand, and all of you have been branded by the Baroness. Um, as of right now, I just kind of think about you guys probably just got it on your left hands. But if there's a different place that you'd like to be branded, that's narratively by me, that's absolutely fine. The your branding, and I'm working on this mythology part of it, is also keeps track of your soul debt. So when people see that you're branded, they know that you're cursed, that you're a cursed rider, and that you carry the authority of the Baroness. Now, just like all law enforcement, only the people that are God-fearing folk, right, will listen to you. If they're, if they're, gangsters or outlaws or whatever, they don't care about law enforcement anyway. But even some of them will be, if they notice that you are cursed riders, they'll just be like, they don't want any part of you because they know something's wrong with you. But that means there's also other people that will hunt you down specifically because you are cursed riders. So, give a little bit, take a little bit. Um, would you guys feel comfortable with talking about your character? Like this is their name, this is kind of what they look like, this is the things that they kind of lean into, or do you want to wait until next session? Because I know you're feeling under the weather, Eric.
I am, but I want to wait for next session anyway so I can think about it more.
Yeah, yeah. There's
Yeah, me
also
too.
that too. There's that too. All right, so that's it. You guys have made a character, and through the process, everything that I talked about, and for making the characters, how do you guys feel about it?
Pretty easy, and I think thematically it all makes a lot of sense.
Mhm.
Like I can already, without playing, I have a good idea what this world is. Just by descriptions and like literally bullying and charming and fighting, like that puts me there already too, right? Like
Yeah.
thematically, it's all making a lot of sense. I dig it.